Hello, guys. My name is Rodrigue, and you're welcome to XtraFPL. On the podcast tonight, as always, we have the big Yason and my man Felix. Hi, guys.
Hello, guy, and thank you for having us in.
Yeah. So tonight we'll be talking about our first thoughts, our plans, possible cheap strategies for the double game weeks 24, 25, and 26, the big one. So this season has been a very strange one, guys. The COVID-19 situation has created a totally different dynamic to FPL this season.
Yeah, it's not been easy with games being pushed forward and kind of having some headache of team selection with your original plans being divested. So it kind of giving people some stress. But now we are happy things are gradually getting back into normal.
Yeah.
I think I'm very interested in this season because this whole pandemic makes us invest more time into FPL because you always need to know which player is in, which player is out, which player can be replaced, and you need to do proper substitutes on time. You always have to have your head on deck to not miss any vital information.
Exactly.
I admit that in the difficulty, chatting FPL, you guys has been amazing, guys.
Yeah, it's been amazing. At times, you just have to sit and think when you kind of having some selection issues, just throwing your guy and you talk about it, and kind of it's a way of relieving your stress from thinking too much and just chatting.
That's what has actually inspired us to start this channel, this XtraFPL. Give
for you guys is fine. If someone me chatting with you guys is wonderful, but I keep going down every day.
That's because you try to play smart.
All the time. Mr. Yason, what has been your highlight of the FPL season so far? Your best highlight?
I just said something here, and pretty much I will not lie to you. Talking about highlights this year, I think I'm still going to get the big one, but I think my highlight of this year was the first game we won, where I captained Salah and he gave me over 20 points, and his captaincy got me 40 points. I think that was it. Out of that, I think I've just been making very poor changes, poor subs, and players not performing, low returns. So my highlight was game week.
There's still time. You can walk up the ranks. What about you, Felix?
I'm very
That's the best highlight of the season so far.
Oh, for me, my best highlight of the season so far is that the double game week 29, where I really had to captain a defender for the first time.
19.
Game week 19. Sorry, when I had to captain a defender for the first time in my EPA career. It was an amazing choice, but the rate at which City had been going with lots of clean sheets, I just had to take the gamble, and I went with Diaz, and I had to captain him the following week in game week 22, and it was also awesome. But so far,
my best highlight was buying Bruno Fernandes with a 4-point hit. I remember I spoke with Yason, and I was hesitant on taking that hit. He said I should go for it because not having Bruno was criminal. I did.
Exactly.
If I did not bring in Bruno, man, I don't know what would have been happening to me right now, man.
No.
Yeah, that's a big one for you, bro.
Bruno has been amazing this season so far. I think he's in contention for EPL best player of the season. He has been amazing. He scores, he assists, and he's always there at the top. So he's been amazing. I think every EPL manager will want to have him. He should be the top asset now for EPL.
Okay. So before we jump into how we did last game week, if you happen to be watching us, please you hit the like button and subscribe, because that is going to help this channel grow, and it will encourage us to keep on doing this, and let anyone who is interested join the chat. That's exactly why we created this channel, so that we can discuss the stats, discuss the updates, and see where it takes us as high as possible on the Fantasy Premier League rankings.
One more thing, please.
Yeah.
One more thing, please.
Yes.
Yeah, if people watching us, if you have any questions, you can just drop them on the comment section. Then maybe during our live show, we talk about your questions too.
Yeah, that's true. Brilliant. Yeah, teams. Game almost on us, man. What happened?
I think for me, my captaincy choice, I knew Chelsea would keep a clean sheet against Sheffield, only for the mighty Antonio Rudiger to score an OG. I was so disappointed, man. After captaining Ben Chilwell and having Mendy in goal, I really wanted that clean sheet so badly. It propelled me somehow to 60 or more points. So it was really disappointing for me.
Yeah, it was. You captained, looking at your team, you captained Chilwell. But basically, we all had red arrows. And the average was 58, but you got 43 points. Captain Chilwell wasn't to pay off. And
also the criminality of not having a Gundogan in my team has cost me a lot.
Yeah. What are you doing, guy? Gundogan is the most essential player in the game right now. Not having him is not.
Yeah, Tielemans was on penalty for Leicester in the absence of Vardy, so I brought him in because he was on form as well. He was scoring and assisting, so I took the gamble to go with him rather than going with Gundogan. I think that's what has been costing me so far.
Yeah, I thought I did poorly, but looking at your team, your game week rank 6.6 million, man.
Yeah.
Well, but there's still time. Yason, can we move to your team now?
I pretty much can't complain, huh? It was a red flag for me going down the ranking, overall ranking, but it was I think it was a fairly good week for me. I had returns from defense, I had returns from the midfield, and I kind of had something out of the attack. So I think is the -4, the hit I took. That's where it put me off, but I won't complain much. My captain, the return from Son was pretty much average, so I'll go for it. I think I'll take it. I'm happy with it. So it was all right to me. It was all right.
I hope we all can do better.
Average, at least.
So we're for mighty green arrows this week.
Yeah, if you consider the -4 you took, you're below average as well. No, you're above average by one. Yeah. Yeah, but if we're looking towards pushing towards the top 100k, top 10k, we should be doing better, man. Because when I look at my team, I got 52 points. 50 points.
Thanks to Gundogan.
Yeah, I got 52 points and thanks to Gundogan, but almost everyone has him. I was surprised to hear to find out that Felix doesn't have him.
Not Gundogan. Thanks to Alisson, man.
That's true. Alisson did some mess up
to Alisson because he brought in inspiration from Adrian.
And Loris Karius.
Yeah, but I think what failed me this week was bringing in Danny Ings because
I had captaining him as well.
I had a hunch he was going to do well, but I was unlucky. I was damn unlucky.
Newcastle had other ideas.
Yeah, I brought him in, which made me bench
Watkins. Yeah.
So I actually lost so many points with that transfer because the other transfer I had in mind was to bring in Son. I have a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah.
I was planning to bring in Son for Suchek and captain Son instead. So if I did that, I would have had
that's 20 points from Son.
I would have had 20 points from Son.
Yeah.
Well, but bad decisions, they do happen. I'm hoping that in space of the faith I have in him next game week.
That's what makes FPL bad decisions, cuts, and good decisions.
No, EPL is kind of interesting. When you make some bad decisions, you suffer for it, and when you make some good decisions, it pays off.
Yeah. So I think to stop lamenting about last week, we can move on to talking about the spicy double game weeks of 24, 25, and 26. Now, I would like Felix, can you give us what chips you have left and what you have in mind? Your first thoughts. We know it's impossible to tell us what you want to do throughout every window from now.
Actually, seriously, with my chips, I'm left only with my triple captain, and I don't have any plans of playing my triple captain now. So I'll keep my triple captain until when my gods tell me to play them. Then that's when I'll play my triple captain. But looking at the fixtures with City having Spurs and Everton and Palace, Burnley playing Palace and Fulham, then Everton, Fulham and Man City. Watching the Spurs and Everton game today and the way City are flying, I think if Spurs and Everton plays like that against City, then it will go kilo for Manchester City. So I think people will rush to get some Manchester City assets this time around. That notwithstanding, I don't think City will keep clean sheet in both games. From the time they consider against Liverpool, something just told me that these guys will start conceding goals. And an example was, again, the game today they had with Swansea.
Yeah.
They considered another goal. So,
but I think they conceded, but they had Laporte and Garcia.
Yeah, but that notwithstanding, it can still translate to the entire team. So maybe after this double game week, I'll have to do away with one City defender and maybe bring in a more attacking City player. Then just go with one City defender from now on.
Okay.
So those are my thoughts for now.
So no chips.
No chips.
Transfers. What about you, Yason?
Pretty much interesting. I'm not really particular about this double game week, considering the fact you have teams like Burnley and Fulham. Those are teams I will not like owning assets.
Yeah.
I will all go for Spurs, City, and Everton, and I own three of them. So I think I'm going to go with it. But after the red card given to Suchek, guys, with immediate effect, I have to take him out.
No, you can watch the game. If you watched the game, you would have known from seeing the foul. It was clear they were going to receive the card.
I watched the game and I was just so pissed that happened. My team he wasn't just fair with that, but I felt like after City game, I need a Gundogan back. I transferred Gundogan out to bring in Jack Grealish. That's not bad because Aston Villa has a couple of double game weeks coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But I brought Gundogan back immediately after that, considering the fact that he has a double game week coming up this week and next week, right? 24 and 25.
24 days, a double game week for Manchester City, and probably 26.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And 25 as well. 25?
No.
Okay, no, not
25.
No. I think they might have a double in 27.
27.
I think, later, after we must have spoken about our strategies, we would take a look at Ben Crillin. Ben Crillin's fixture map out. The guy is a god when it comes to predicting doubles and blanks. Yeah. So we'll take a closer look at it, and we would from it we would know.
So
Yason, if I'm getting you clearly, you're not planning on using any of your chips in 24, 25, or 26.
basically what I've done is, for now, just 2 games in 24 and just 1 game or 2 in 25. So I've just gone for Gundogan for now, and I'm just watching. But most likely, I'm going to use a wild card on 25 for game week 26 and 27, preparing for those 2 game weeks. I need to step up my game. Yeah, so
we all do.
Gundogan comes in. As for my captain, I have no captaincy. I haven't thought about it yet. But I'm so sure what I've done already. Gundogan is back in. Still check, I'm sorry to say, good returns from you, but he's out.
Take another minus hit.
I hope you're not going to regret that, because you check, he's playing Sheffield United. He could get in a couple of head goals, and
of course
you start ruining your
and Sheffield United are very poor in defending set piece this season. Most of the goals I've considered have come from corners, and Suse is very good in heading those in.
Maybe the red card was the highlight. It was an eye opener. Careful, this guy. Careful, take him out.
No, but it was a poor decision for my team. That's why the red card was overturned.
Excuse for me to bench him this week, but it's difficult for me to bench him now, because I know so many people have transferred him out. I think he could return against Sheffield. But in terms of cheap strategy and my plans for 24, 25, and 26, I think 3 Manchester City players essential. But we are recording this after the crazy game between Everton and Tottenham.
Yeah.
So I just checked the fantasy website and I realized Diaz is flagged. So I will be looking out for that as well, because if Diaz is flagged and he's not going to be available for the game, for one of the games this weekend, I don't know what I'm going to do with him.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically, what it might be COVID.
It might be COVID. That's true. It might be COVID. This one is an illness. It might be COVID.
Yeah. So what I was planning to do is use my transfers to get to a bench boost team on game week 26.
Maybe Dominic today with an injury scare. I don't know how far that will be. So we also have to follow up with the press conference from Carlo. So see if we can get him into the squad. But I'm not.
What do you think about having 3 City assets for this coming double game week?
Yeah, I had that in mind already, because I had Stone and Tias in my team, and I brought in Gundogan. For this double game week, so that's cool for me. I was thinking of bringing maybe one Everton player. I already have Kane back in my team, because I was so pissed off when I saw Kane playing this past week. I was so pissed off because I had to transfer him out for Antonio. Then he had to play the same week, so it was so disappointing for me. So immediately I brought him back into the team for Antonio. So I'm thinking of bringing maybe an Everton player too, to have a different dimension. But for Fulham and Burnley, I'm not really particular with players from those teams, so it's kind of not really a concern for me.
Okay, only 3 Manchester City assets for me is going to be a hard one, considering the fact that I'm trying so hard not to take it minus hit.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be tough. Even bringing Kane in as well, I face the same situation with you. Bringing Kane in as well is going to be tough, because I'll need to take a minus hit and maybe 8, because bringing Kane in alone is going to be heavy. So, like you say, it's the gods of the team. So we just need to go with it. I think I'm going to leave the team the way it is. 1 asset from Spurs, 2 assets actually from City, but I doubt Cancelo is going to play both games because of the return of cash.
Kyle Walker is fit, so I think Cancelo will only make it to the bench in one of those games.
Yes, he make way for Kyle Walker in one of those games. So it's really tricky. It's really tricky. And with what we saw with Justin as well, with the injury scare as well, so we need to look out for.
And Walker was in the team today in the game against Swansea, so I think maybe Cancelo will play this weekend, then Walker will play the midweek game. That's what I'm thinking. Pep, we never can tell with him.
Yeah, especially with the Champions League coming up as
well.
Yeah, Champions League and the League Cup final.
We're happy to have him back.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. So if you can just wrap up what you were trying to tell us before about your team.
Yeah, I wanted us to take a look at Ben Kralin's permutations on the blanks and possible double game week 26. I think right now we can actually see the teams that have the best possible fixtures. Information on this, you can follow Ben Kralin on Twitter. He's the master of all of these permutations. He breaks them down so easily and far more better than we can do. If we need to break this down for you guys, it's going to take us so much longer.
Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. Later this week, we'll be having a team selection video and a deadline stream where we'll discuss in detail our updated plans, our captaincy choices, key statistics, and stay tuned because we are going to be having an interesting game here on XtraFPL. Take care, stay blessed.